charges security agencies to be professional at the 2023 general elections. Senate passes over 819 billion naira 2022 supplementary budget. Correspondent reports on Kano State government house activities in the outgoing year. And on the foreign scene, Iranian court sentences 100 people to death in connection to protests. Good evening, you're listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. I am Zara Zanna. Today is the 28th of December, 2022, and now the news in full. President Muhammadu Buhari today charged security agencies that would be engaged with various support services in the 2023 elections to maintain a high sense of professionalism. Speaking at the commissioning at the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, newly acquired estate in Idu Karmo, Abuja, the president urged the agencies to handle the distribution and monitoring of classified materials and other logistics professionally and in accordance with standing operation procedures. Reiterating his earlier directive to security agencies to remain apolitical, the president said they must desist from behavior that could bring disrepute to their organizations and the country by compromising the democratic process. On the newly acquired DIAS estate, the president said that befitting accommodation would enhance productivity and coordination of activities of staff of the agency in view of increasing number of personnel to face new challenges and responsibilities. President Buhari therefore charged the new occupants to ensure the sustenance of the high standard of the facility. The Senate today passed President Muhammadu Buhari's 2022 supplementary appropriation bill of 819,536,937,813 naira. It followed the consideration and approval of the report of the Senate Committee on Appropriation, chaired by Senator Barrow Jibril. Senator Jibril said the amount was meant to complete ongoing capital projects, including roads and dams destroyed by flooding. He added that the sum would be sourced from additional domestic borrowings by the federal government. President Muhammadu Buhari sought the passage of 819.5 billion supplementary budget to be financed through additional domestic borrowing. The supplementary budget is to address food security following devastating floods across the country, as well as damages to road infrastructure and water sector. The supplementary budget is to be funded by additional borrowing and will increase the budget deficit to 8.17 trillion naira. On sports, Premier League giant Liverpool is preparing to make an official bid for Villarreal wing wizard Samuel Chukwueze a few hours after sealing a move for Dutch forward Cody Gakpo. Mohammed Sani Uba has details of this and other sports updates.
Liverpool put up the first major deal of the winter transfer window with the signing of Cody Gakpo. The Reds are believed to have paid PSV a fee of €50 million for Gakpo, whose stock increased significantly at the 2022 FIFA World Cup, where he scored 3 goals in 5 appearances for the Netherlands. And according to report, Super Eagles winger Samuel Chukwueze could be next on Liverpool's shopping list as the Anfield club continues to revamp an attack, decimated by the departure of Senegal Sadio Mane to Bayern Munich in the summer. Meanwhile, the 2022-2023 Nigeria Professional Football League may not kick off as expected on January 8, with the referees insisting on the payment of their outstanding indemnities. The Nigeria Referees Association has told the Interim Management Committee IMC that their members will not officiate games in the upcoming season unless their 3 years accumulated indemnity arrears were paid. The decision of the match officials earlier forced the IMC to postpone the kick-off date from December 28 to January 8. In another update, the hotel room Lionel Messi stayed in during the Qatar 2022 World Cup is set to be turned into a museum after Argentina's success in the tournament. Messi was key in Argentina's first World Cup since 1986 and was named player of the tournament after netting twice in the dramatic final against France. And on tennis, Novak Djokovic has been welcomed back into Australia almost a year after he was deported over his COVID-19 vaccine status. Officials confirmed the 21-time Grand Slam champion had landed in the country for January's Australian Open. Djokovic, a 9-time Australian Open winner, had an automatic 3-year visa ban overturned in November. Muhammad Sanuba, Freedom Radio.
The Global News is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradionig.com, or call us through this number, 0824444163. Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. On Saturday, January 8, 2022, the governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, led a special prayer meeting for the peace and development of the country. Government House correspondent Abba Isa Muhammad reports on the activities of the Government House in the outgoing year and files in this report.
On Saturday, 28 January 2022, the Kano State Governor, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, handed over the power to the new Emir of Gaya, Dr. Aliyu Ibrahim, at Gaya Emir's Palace after the death of the late Emir of Gaya, Alhaji Ibrahim Abdul Qadir. On Wednesday, 9th February 2022, Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, he also led a delegation of the president's wife, Aisha Buhari, to pay a condolence visit to the late Hanifa's house after she was kidnapped and brutally murdered. In the year under review, on Tuesday, 10 May 2022, Governor Ganduje announced his deputy, Dr. Nasiru Yusuf Gawuna, and former Commissioner for Local Government, Murtala Silagaru, as gubernatorial candidates under the All Progressive Congress, APC, at Africa House in the Government House. On Friday, 17 June 2022, Governor Ganduje launched the Hajj trial in practice in Hajj camp. Also on 9 July 2022, Governor Ganduje granted amnesty and released 90 prisoners from correctional centers in Kano State. In the year under review, on 26 July, Governor Ganduje received members of Nigerian Labour Congress, Kano State Council, when they held a peaceful protest to show support for the strike by Association of Senior Staff of Universities, ASU, at the entrance of the Government House. And on Friday, 2nd September 2022, he launched and swore in 11 new commissioners to replace those who joined the candidature. On Friday, 4th November 2022, Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje presented the 2023 estimate budget to the State House of Assembly. The budget tagged Budget for Consolidation and Prosperity to focus on education, reform of Al-Majri system, health, security, infrastructure, agriculture, and empowerment, which is the last in his second term of tenure.
Present an aggregation budget of, open your ears, 445 billion, 31,516,094 naira 8 kobo for the year 2023 before this honorable house for your deliberations, considerations, and approval.
Kano State Governor Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje received Hajj report at Africa House Hall for the year 2021 on Friday, 2nd December 2022.
The last Hajj operation was the worst I ever witnessed. For our own investigation, I think the federal government should do something about the officials of the National Hajj Board. There's a lot of corruption, a lot of inefficiency in that board. The federal government should investigate. Even the national government should investigate to find out what happened during the last election.
In the year under review 2022, on 22nd November, Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje signed 11 laws, including the law establishing the People with Special Needs Commission after receiving the new Kano State Police Commissioner, Muhammadu Buhari, at Government House.
These laws are meant for the good governance of Kano State. So I believe after signing this law, all those stakeholders who are absolutely necessary for the implementation of these laws will be on the ground to ensure that the achieves its objective.
Similarly, in outgoing year, Governor Ganduje visited the new medicine market that is being built in Tangoro.
After the commissioning, nobody is allowed to sell drugs anywhere in Kano State except in this place.
And recently, Governor Ganduje visited the private power station which is being built in Tigadam on 24th December 2022. During the visit, Governor Ganduje ordered the company that is working to provide electricity to complete the work within 2 weeks to begin testing the power that will be used to provide street lights and providing electricity at Tambrawa water treatment plant.
So we have been assured that our water treatment plant at Tambrawa will be 100% supported by this electricity from this hydro system. And also some of our street lights in Kano Metropolitan will be provided with this energy. I would like to call upon the contractors to speed up because in 2 weeks' time I will be here in order to see the test run.
It is also expected that Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, will continue his official visit and open some project before the end of his term of office on May 29, 2023. Abba Isa Muhammad, Freedom Radio.
For tomorrow's weather forecast in some cities in Nigeria and parts of Niger Republic, here's the report.
Kano tomorrow is expected to have a partly cloudy, a light wind at an average temperature of 13 degrees Celsius, a later change to 17 degrees Celsius with sunny and a moderate breeze. Kaduna will have a clear sky and a gentle breeze at a temperature of 15 degrees Celsius, a later move to 18 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and a moderate breeze. Kaduna will have a clear sky and a gentle breeze at an average temperature of 16 degrees Celsius, a later shift to 20 degrees Celsius with sunny and a gentle breeze. Abuja is expected to have a partly cloudy and light winds at an average temperature of 19 degrees Celsius and later increase to 25 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and light winds. Lagos will have a clear sky and light wind at an average temperature of 22 degrees Celsius and later change to 24 degrees Celsius with sunny and light wind. Moving to Niger Republic, Maradi will have a clear sky and a gentle breeze at an average temperature of 16 degrees Celsius, a later shift to 19 degrees Celsius with gusty winds and hazy. While Zindar will experience a clear sky and a gentle breeze at an average temperature of 17 degrees Celsius and later increase to 19 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and a moderate breeze. Ismail Suleiman Sani, Freedom Radio.
And on the foreign scene, at least 100 people have now been sentenced to death or charged with capital offenses in connection with the protest in Iran. Amina Mukhtar-Yakase reports.
A Norway-based Iran Human Rights reported that 5 women were among those at risk of execution. It warned that the raw number of protesters facing the death penalty was believed to be far higher because families were being pressured to stay quiet. 2 men were executed this month after what activists said were sham trials. Mohsen Shakari and Majidreza Rahnavad, who were both 23, were found guilty by revolutionary courts of vaguely defined national security charge of enmity against God. Iran has been engulfed by protests against the country's clerical establishment for just over 100 days. They erupted following the death in custody of Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old woman who was detained by morality police in Tehran on 13 September for allegedly wearing her hijab or headscarf improperly. Authorities have portrayed the protests as foreign-backed riots and responded with lethal force. So far, at least 476 protesters have been killed, including 64 children and 34 women, according to Iran Human Rights. A report published by the group on Tuesday identified 100 individuals whose sentences or indictments have either been announced by officials or reported by their families or journalists. Amina Mukhtar-Yakase, Freedom Radio.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's Global News. But before we leave, highlights of our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari today charged security agencies that would be engaged with various support services in the 2023 elections to maintain a high sense of professionalism. The Senate today passed President Muhammadu Buhari's 2022 supplementary appropriation bill of 819,536,937,813 naira.
Global.
And on the foreign scene, at least 100 people have now been sentenced to death or charged with capital offenses in connection with the protests in Iran. On behalf of the entire production team and I, Zara Zanna, thank you for listening.
This is Freedom Global News.